This Week in Fish and Wildlife, sponsored by your local Montana Toyota dealers.
Thursday morning time once again for This Week in Fish and Wildlife. Joining us in the studio this morning, Andrea Jones from the Montana Department of Fish, Wildlife and Parks. Had one of those nasty situations. I hate when we have to talk about these things, Andrea, but it's unfortunate. One of those things that Fish, Wildlife and Parks has to deal with, a poaching incident. Let's talk about what we're dealing with there.
Right, this is really unfortunate. We had 3 bison, bull bison, taken illegally by hunters in the Gardiner area. This is in the Beatty Gulch area where a lot of the hunting does occur legally during the season, but these individuals, all from Park County, went out and tried to hide the evidence of these 3 bison that they put down. Unfortunately, they only took the heads, left the rest to waste. It was discovered a couple of days later that the incident occurred on the 28th of February, and it was found a few days later by staff. There had been a couple tips that came in about gunshots in the area, but again, this is in that area where bison hunting does occur by tribes and by state hunters during the legal season. But of course, our season ends February 15th. These were residents of the state of Montana, and again, post-season. So they did plead guilty this week on Tuesday in Justice Court and were sentenced for unlawful possession, waste of game, and hunting out of season or hunting during a closed season. So fines and restitution in the amount of around $2,600 apiece, and their privilege for hunting, trapping, and fishing has been suspended for 54 months, which some people say is light, but for us, we don't control that part of the process.
There's a reason for all the work you do, how many tags are issued, and all of those kind of things. And this just it's just a black eye on some of that stuff, isn't it?
Well, of course, anytime a hunter does something wrong, it kind of casts a light across all hunters. And this is a special case, of course, because we are in coordination with a number of tribes, and we're on a small landscape hunting during this during the real hunt season. To have something like this happen, it's really unfortunate. One of the other things that was kind of interesting about this case was the use of an FWP canine in order to help track down some of the evidence. So as part of a pilot project toward using canines, we don't have much use of them in FWP enforcement, but this case might not have been solved had it not have been for this canine Kika, who was able to locate some of the evidence that helped lead our folks to the people responsible.
The canine, plus again the involvement of good eyes out there, people
That's correct.
Doing the responsible thing and making that phone call.
That's correct. Agency partners actually had spotted these. Were able to confirm partners from the Forest Service as well as the Park Service were there to see and confirm that these individuals were in the area around the time of the incident.
It's phenomenal. One other thing we want to talk about a little bit. Get over online, start making sure you're doing the right thing there.
Today's the day. Today's the final day to put in for the bucks bulls, your antlerless elk permits. So get those and do it online at this point if you can, just because it's going to be a rush at our offices today. So deadline, bucks and bulls today, fwp.mt.gov.
Perfect. Andrea Jones from the Montana Department of Fish, Wildlife and Parks.
This Week in Fish and Wildlife was sponsored by Toyota.